Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Twillow Wisdom Circle. This is our very first podcast, and we're here to answer questions or enlighten in, all of our areas of expertise. So a little bit about the Twillow Lifestyle Academy. We have now grown. We have been in business. The Twillow Lifestyle Community has been in business for 10 years, and I'm so blessed to be able to work with these people. They're amazing people, all of them, which is why we're so excited to be able to bring this to you tonight. So it grew from little old me in my basement, and now we have 11 teachers, and they are beautiful souls, and they have a ton of knowledge. So we are here to start bringing that to you. So I'm going to go around the room and just have them introduce themselves. I'm probably going to say their first name because I have to identify them, but you know what I'm doing. All right, so let's start with Kaylee, please. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be teaching and sort of what brought you to teaching with the Academy.
Sure. So as Tana says, my name's Kaylee. Nice to meet everybody. I'll start off with how I got into this. So I've been a student of Tannis's for 4 years now. And I've always just had like a love of teaching people or sharing information, sharing knowledge. So it seemed like a perfect fit when Tannis came to me and said, "Hey, do you want to teach?" And I said, "Sure, let's do it. Let's go for it." So I'm going to be teaching a couple of courses. So I'm going to be teaching a creativity series that will be starting in October. It's going to be running year long. So even if you can't do the one in October, you got 11 other months to have an opportunity to join the class. I'm also going to be, not a class, but doing sound baths here. So if you're local here to Ottawa, we'll be doing sound baths and Reiki in combination. And then I'm also currently working on a couple other courses that will hopefully be announced soon. But those are the main ones that I'm working on at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And some of those will be starting in October, so stay tuned. They're coming soon, and we want to make sure that we're, rounding out our curriculum as well. So we're bringing the sound baths and stuff to the community too. And next we have Jacqueline Richards. Jacqueline, can you tell us a little about yourself, please? And you're on mute, hon.
That was so brilliant. And I wanted to make sure there was silence. Anyway, so I was busy suggesting that we all took a long, deep breath and we lifted our shoulders, we took them back and we released them down. And that's what I do when I'm speaking to my clients. I have the opportunity to work as a mortgage agent. And I ask my clients to, when we're talking about the tough stuff about money, it's okay to have questions. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to allow yourself to take a look at what those next steps could be. And when I'm not teaching about money, I'm busy teaching yoga. So I wrote a book called Yoga for Your Personal Finances because of the money and people intending to find ways to make their lives a little easier. And while I teach yoga, hatha yoga specifically, I teach at the Twillow Academy and I teach online. I teach Red Iron Yoga, which is one of my specialties. That's hatha yoga with weights. Never be afraid. Take a long, deep breath. When I teach chair yoga alongside that, I'm tickled to be one of the caregivers of the 200-hour yoga certification course. And that began with 365 days of knowing each other and moving through what it could be to become a yoga instructor with your certification. I'm telling you, you smile, you laugh, you cry. It brings you to who you are, and you're surrounded by a community who want you to do exactly that. Just be who you are.
And we took the school through the Yoga Alliance,
yeah,
accreditation, which was a fun project for us. We spent some time doing that last year, so that was fun. And so stay tuned because we do have a 200-hour yoga instructor training coming up.
Yeah.
Starting in September. Okay.
Appreciate how your year could be should you make that decision.
And that's online and in person. We can do both. I think we've got a couple of days that'll be online on Thursdays every week, but then Saturdays we can do separate. Just for that commitment not being on it. So there's a few things that we do that are local and some that we do that are online that can be. And Pamela, I think you're online. So anybody can come in. Tell us about you.
Yes. So hello, I'm Pamela. So I am a writer for the most part, author, poet, things like that. I've actually been taking classes with Tanis for 8 years at least at this point. Quite a long time. So I've definitely been in and around quite a bit over the years. And I actually have my first class coming up on September 9th. This one's called Finding Yourself on the Page. It is an intro to creative writing and kind of a little bit more of connecting with yourself through creative writing. And I'm really excited to host that one, and kind of my first foray into teaching as I'm new with Twillow. So, well, the teaching side, I've been here forever, but yeah.
One of our newer teachers, yes. So Jacqueline's been a teacher now for quite a number of years, and she's been working with us. And Kaylee and Pamela have been students and now are teachers. So yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah.
So let's say hello to a few people, because we are here to interact with our audience as well. So we'll say hello to Moira. Hello, Moira. Thank you for joining us. Great to see you. And we have Liz. Hello, Liz. Welcome. And we have Nalani. Welcome, Nalani. Nice to see you all. Thank you for joining us for this. And so basically we're going to be opening the floor up to all of you for any questions that you might have. That's kind of what our Twillow Wisdom Circle is about. While we're waiting for your questions to come in, I'm just going to ask these lovely ladies a few questions to move us in a direction where they can teach you a little bit about what they do. So let's start with Pamela this time.
Sure.
Pamela, so what got you into writing to begin with?
Probably reading. So ever since I was very young, I've been into books. My parents read to me, and then as soon as I was able to read, I started reading. And then once I realized I could write these, like I could do that too, like that was the excitement. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to do this. And I spent a lot of time, writing things as a child. And then I got into like poetry. So I have a giant binder somewhere in my house right now. And it's like, I think over 200 poems of things I wrote when I was a teenager. So they're all angsty, drama filled. But it was like a passion. I was like glued to it. I had to do this. And as an adult, I still write poetry, but I do more stories and just general writing for the sake of writing. Honestly, I enjoy it. But yeah, that is my goal. I'm going to be publishing things, hopefully, in the next few years, more things. I'm technically already published. I have a poem published in an anthology right now. But I will be publishing more things. So, yeah.
And you have some exciting news coming up, too. Is that something you can share?
I think so. So I'm part of a group that's out of Winchester, Ontario. So there's a true story event. So we're all going to be telling true stories. There's about 8 of us. And we'll have musical accompaniment to it. It is my first time doing it. It's really cool. It'll be in October. So I'm actually really excited. We start rehearsals next week. So we'll see what it's all about. I didn't know. I haven't seen it yet. I guess they do this every year, but someone mentioned it to me and I'm like, oh, I'll submit to it. So it's really exciting and I'm excited. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Congratulations. That's great.
Thank you.
I love it when people just say yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of yes, what have you said yes to lately, Jacqueline? What got you into yoga originally?
I was with the YMCA and I was a group fitness volunteer. And they decided, well, why don't we just pay you and you'll continue to teach more classes with us? Absolutely. So I taught cardio kickbox, high-low cardio. I loved teaching. And they recognized that. And then they asked, we have a program happening and we'd love to have you participate. It's our yoga certification course. So yoga is a 4-letter word. I had no idea really what it was. Aside from when I was in track and field, I knew stretches kind of could have been kind of yoga in its context. I did that 25 years ago, and I've never looked back. And I allow the yoga to be incorporated not just in my hatha yoga classes, but I also am a coach. I'm a life and fitness coach, life fitness finance coach. And I incorporate allowing people to take the long, deep breaths through my vision board sessions. It's amazing what you can do when, like Pamela, you just say yes. And I continue. There's so much more to do. And so that's me in yoga. Haven't looked back. So I got my 200-hour yoga certification, not once, not twice, but 3 times, which makes me the 500-hour expert. So it's it allows you to open up, allowed me to open up about who I was and my health. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you. And Kaylee, so what brought you to doing some of the things that you do? Because you do such a variety of things.
Yeah.
So what led you to start taking the classes?
I've always joked that like if I didn't have to work, I'd be a lifelong student. For me, like always was wanting to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
And so of course, starting out on this path, it was kind of just all these little doors, start opening up, and you're like, ooh, what's behind that one? Ooh, what's behind that one? And what's great is that Twillow allowed for that almost like tasting menu. If you want to talk about food. I'm also kitchen witch, so that explains some of that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was like kind of like you could taste, do a little bit of this, and then a little bit of that, and then you're like, oh, and I really like this. Well, hey, there's this, so so it kind of that's where it bloomed from. And then just through encouragement of like other students and other teachers, they were like, well, you're really interested in that, follow that path. So for example, with the sound baths, I just finished my certification a week ago. Got that all completed because I felt very, very much called to that, and the feedback I've gotten is like, you're meant to do this. So it's nice having those affirmations, confirmations. So yeah, I would say that's really been it, is that just Jen, who, if you guys follow the channel, you've met Jen, but her whole thing is open and curious, and I kind of try and live by that myself. So yeah.
So Jen is another teacher. She's also my co-host for Twillow Talk, and she does all things spiritual as well as psychotherapy. So so I'm sure she'll be on at some point as well. So stay tuned. Awesome. So what has been your the favorite part of your journey so far into spiritual stuff? Jacqueline, do you want to go first?
I was just going to say, I could go. I wouldn't mind going first. It was when I was a little girl. I'll say a little girl. I saw shadows. I continued to see shadows going to school or coming home, making dinner, getting ready for bed. I kept seeing shadows. I had no idea really what that was. I just thought, wow, maybe I'm just freaked out a little bit. Maybe I'm just too tired. Maybe I'm doing too much homework. Ha 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 ha. And then there was a day when I was in the basement, and I was sure that a gentleman had opened the door for me as I was coming in from school. And I thought, isn't that interesting? And it was true to me. There was a gentleman who opened the door for me and had a conversation that at this moment, I don't remember. And I had a conversation as a little girl, and I came in, and then my mother said to me, because she happened to be home, your uncle died. I said, what? And that was, in my mind, he came to say goodbye to me. And I didn't say that out loud. I just said that to myself. I wrote it in my diary because everyone should have a journal, a diary. And I couldn't understand what that might have been. a couple weeks later, my mother had a meeting with a spiritualist who said, your daughter has special gifts. And so she can see people that you can't. And so that was the beginning of, hey, I see dead people. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. And it allowed me to take the channeling course with Tanis and to continue to understand that I could follow those spirits. I know my uncle and my aunt help me, guide me through, and I'm there. I see it, I believe it. And that's what I get at Twillow. So not only do I get to experience the channeling in those 3 sessions or 3 courses. Sorry, I don't know how we divided that up. I just know it was a number of long moments where I got to say, I can see it. And I haven't lost it. I believe it to be true. And I leave my day like that when I take my breath.
Yeah. So usually that's the 9-week channeling.
Thank you.
But, things shift. We do things, depends on the time. You may be seeing something different coming up soon. So I think yours was the 9-week though. So speaking of seeing dead people, Kaylee, do you want to talk about that experience for you? What do you see?
I was gonna say which ones. To your question about like what I guess peace has been the most important. For me, it's been the confidence building. So much like Jacqueline, I think one of the first classes I took with you was the channeling course.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's just been like almost like this jigsaw puzzle, or like slowly like putting all these pieces, and like I almost even say like I hear an audible click sometimes when they like finally you find where they fit into place. But it's been that like coming back to like true self and having that confidence and like, yes, I know this, yes, I understand this, yes, as Jacqueline said, I'm seeing people that aren't there and I'm not losing it. But also what's been great is finding that actually for me, it's a lineage. So both through my mother, my grandmother, even my great-grandmother, coming to realize that there's been this all along that I wasn't aware of till very, very recently. So yeah, and I think we've talked about maybe working on some like mediumship classes and stuff. So that's something that's in
one
my
of the things.
Interests.
Yes, we're looking at that for sure. And isn't that true that we don't talk to people about this?
No,
as often.
We don't.
Right? We don't allow ourselves that opportunity to talk about it because there's a stigma attached to it, right? Which doesn't need to be, but it is. And so people, or they at least feel there is. I think I'd like to rephrase that, right? That they feel there's a stigma. Even though I think that's really decreasing because really we can all do this kind of thing, right? We just have to allow ourselves the opportunity. So how about you, Pamela? What was your high point?
Honestly, I think it's really just meeting people in the community of it. Because I think I started with you in the enlightenment evenings in person, and it was kind of cool that there was like so many people. There was like, almost 10 people every time. And it was just really cool because it's all different people from all different parts of life and just like meeting. And it's like, oh yeah, like we all, we hear things, we see things, we know things, like that's cool. Just having that community. And the same thing with like the courses over the years, it's been like different people and, well, some of the same, but new people and different things. And everyone has different experiences. Like for one, I don't know if I've seen anybody who is dead, but I've definitely heard. I've been yelled at before, so I've heard things. But like we all have different experiences and we can kind of like understand where each other's coming from. And it's just kind of like a really awesome community aspect that we have. So that's what I love.
Beautiful. Thank you. So what is your favorite topic to talk about? Jacqueline? That might help our viewers.
Yes, and it's interesting. There's so many. So when I did the Celtic Priestess,
Celtic Shamanic High Priestess program.
thank you. So here I am. I am, as I continue to say, I am a high priestess. And I like, but I took the course, so I am. I have my certification.
Exactly.
Which
we all do, by the way, just as an
Yeah.
aside. All four of us have taken that.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I looked at it, I thought, well, this is the stuff that movies are made of. I loved that year of learning that Celtic and all of the lineages, oh my gosh, anyway, I appreciated it. I'm looking, so in my head, I'm going through the manual, I'm going through the book, seeing all these pretty, pretty pictures. I'm like, oh, that would be fun. And what tea can I make today? Because today is a special tea, and this is a special season. And this is, why wouldn't we want to open up? For me, I love celebrating. And that course allowed me to celebrate every single season in an extraordinary way. I had my incense going. I had my altars in place. So this is, and because I've done feng shui, Tanis and I have completed our feng shui certification, and we know east, west, north, south, and all of the directions. What a treat it was to be able to put all of that together. So that when I talk about that, imagine it's in my signature. Wait, she's a mortgage agent and she's that too?
And we all have other jobs too, right? I mean, that's the other thing. So we do all this for fun.
In our free time.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, mine is more full-time. I'm an HR consultant as well, but majority of my time is in this world. So these days.
I would say jumping off of Jacqueline. So for me, it was the ritual kind of piece of like kind of finding that specialness in everyday things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember, like, of course, first year you encouraged me to like go out and experiment, because I'm like, I just want to I want to experiment with things.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any like, no, that's silly, don't do that. You're like, yeah, and you're like, go do it, and then report back to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. I would say that's the biggest piece, because even now I'm still doing. I do full moon ceremonies every month for the community, and so again, encouragement to continue doing that, because that's what I feel called to do. So yeah.
Well, and speaking of experimenting, why don't you share your soup experiment?
You want to share the story?
Yes, because it's fun.
So yeah, so this is first year, first class even of the Celtic Shamanic. And we were talking about, I guess, just like magic, holding ceremony, holding sacred space, talking about calling in the directions, all of that. And we were just talking about the different types of magic, or the different types of witches that there are out there, one of which is, a kitchen witch. And we were talking about how cooking brings in all four of the elements.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is what magic is, when you bring all four elements and put energy
in
into
one
it.
thing.
Yeah.
And so, of course, my mind goes, so I'm going to take this as a challenge for myself, and I'm going to do an experiment where I'm going to, basically, I took a recipe, split it evenly in half, so there's like, basically everything was the same, as controlled of a study as you could do, I guess. And made one batch of soup with just how I would make soup every day. And then the other batch, I opened up Sacred Circle. I called in the directions, I called in the guides, did all of that, and made the soup. And then I labeled the container, so I was the only one that knew like which container was which. And then I think with like the next day, or like even not, it was within, I think, the next day, I actually brought it to one of the Enlightenment evenings. And use them as guinea pigs. We
were happy to play.
And people actually tasted a difference. Whether they liked A or B better was more, I think, flavor preference for people.
Yeah.
But what was noted was that there was a difference in the flavors between the two, even though everything was identical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think that most people felt there was more of a a frequency, a higher
Yes.
frequency.
Yes.
Like the one that was
It's
done in
almost like
circle.
fuzzy in the mouth, I think.
Yeah.
Almost like it was just,
Yeah.
It's been so interesting to like.
Yeah.
And I actually my own students, I've had the opportunity to teach a couple of classes prior to today. But even just like encouraging that like questioning and that like experimentation, I'm like, yeah, go for it. They're like, what if I do this? Well, go try that.
Right.
Like, yeah, you know?
It's the best way to learn, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Pamela? What was your
Yeah, I
favorite
was just
part?
thinking.
You've been with
well,
it since the beginning, since
yes.
it started. First year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way back in time. Honestly, I think it was. I mean, I've been doing a lot of like self-study with stuff like my whole life. I've got like books squirreled away that I've had for many, many years. And then it was just various things of like, you know, like the witchy type things or just regular spiritual things and just all the types. So it was really cool to come and just, especially with like the Celtic shamanic program, like, oh yeah, I actually knew that already because I remember this. Like that is so cool. And it was just kind of another, you know, kind of an affirmation that it was like, I'm not learning weird stuff. Like I didn't find the wrong website on the internet or something. And it didn't lead me astray. Like I actually, I had good info because it's like, you know, on the right path that way.
Mm-hmm.
But to what Jacqueline had mentioned about like celebrating it, like I think, not that I missed that, but I don't think I put enough emphasis on that. Just overall, like celebrating, like taking that time to, because I mean, I do, we take the time, you know, we think of like correlations and correspondences and put things together and make them work, but like celebrating that too is definitely really important.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know, we're always learning. There's always things to learn. I know every time I teach, I learn something from the students or from the guides. I'll be sitting there and they'll be like, oh yes, and do say this and this and this. And I'll be like, oh, cool.
I'll write that down.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, there's always something else to find out or not know about or hadn't thought of it that way or just something to like pick out of it, which I think is why I take pretty much all of Janice's classes, because I'm like, okay, I want to know that thing too. Why not? Let's learn that thing too. Like it's just, you know, the curiosity and the interest to find out more. It's like, and then of course Janice will ask, so what else do you want to know? And it's like, I don't know anything. Like, you got something? Like, let's do that. Yeah.
What do we build next?
Yeah, sure.
Like the Kabbalah program came.
It did, because we were sitting there going, so what are we taking next? And she's like, I don't know. It's like, you got to have something for us, right? Yeah.
Kabbalah.
Oh, that's something. So those watching the replay, if you have stuff you would love to learn about, write it. Let us know what you want to learn about.
Absolutely. We've got such an amazing group, and everybody's got their own specialty. You're just seeing a small sample today. So I think it's pretty cool. And, you know, we're open to new teachers and bringing stuff together. So let us know. It is how we work.
Exactly. Well, that's what happened with Blooming Through the Chakras, the flowers, chakras, meditations, and more. It was, well, why not? What we're learning is about the growth of flowers, the scent. I think that Tanis is going to bring in the idea or the essence of oils that we're going to be able to learn about. And my fingers are crossed about that one because I love oils. And so the flowers and chakras, I'm like, well, why not? Why not? Anyway, so exactly what Kaylee had just said. Whatever's out there to explore, we're here.
And if we can't teach it, we will look to find somebody that will.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because, you know, that's what we do. We support each other. So I think that's key, right? For all of us.
Well, and that's been the exciting bit, is the collaborative piece.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, definitely. Not just in the community, but also just among the teachers. We've had a good time having meetings and collaborating over things. And, you know, what do we want to teach? You and I could do this, and you and I could do that. You know, Jacqueline and I have talked together. Jen and I talked together. Kaylee and I have taught together. You know, and then you and Pamela will be. We've been talking about that, so stay tuned. So there's all sorts of fun collaborative things.
Mhm.
I think that's been that has been a lot of fun with it. So when we were talking about things to bring forward, there are a couple of other ideas that we've put into play that will be coming in the new year. New year being the new school year. So starting in January, we're going to be doing the heart-led entrepreneur stuff. And that was because a few of the students have now done a lot of training and they want to start their own businesses. So we'll be putting that together. It starts at the end of September. So I'm looking forward to that. That plays right into all my training, and we'll be bringing in guests for those things that I don't have training in or that aren't my forte. So, stay tuned for that. And have you all taken you've all taken the channeling class too then, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what was your favorite part of that?
Oh, for me, finding my sacred space, that special room that I get to hang out in.
Sanctuary.
Yes. And it's so quiet. And I'm surrounded by my candles and my music. I'm just like, yeah, no, that's quite perfect.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pamela?
I think it was like a lot of the journeys that we went on. Some of them were so interesting, and it was so like, well, especially when we had gone up and we were at like, where was it? We were at like the council room, and there was everybody there, and there was just like, that was so cool.
Ascended
Because I had
Masters.
some interesting, I had some really interesting interactions in there. That was neat. But it was a little bit more like, particularly with meditation, like sometimes I can really get into it or sometimes I can't, but I'm pretty sure every single time I was like in it, like I wasn't here no more, I was gone somewhere. So it was really cool. Really liked that. So that was honestly, I still think about some of those sometimes. It's really cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Kaylee?
I would say the same thing. I kind of, as I said, I'm pretty sure it was my first class I took with you, other than like Reiki and Aqua Lead.
Yeah.
And I had kind of gone into it being like, I can't meditate. I suck at meditating, blah, 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 blah. And then much like Pamela said, like I was there and able to, journey every time with no issues. So it really did show me that like, if you actually like put a little bit of time and focus on it, what you can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that was definitely it. And as Pamela said too, like I look back, there's still like, guides and stuff like that I met during those times that I still 4 years on am still working with and still, look back on and look to for wisdom. So
yeah, me too. I mean, I took my first channeling class probably 9 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago, and I still work with most of the guides that I met there, which is awesome. I mean, there are some that stay with us forever and some that are just in for moments, but it's nice when you can get to know your guides. And that was one way that was helpful for me starting it, was in that style of course.
Isn't that interesting? As we're adults, we continue to be students. We're all teachers. We are all teachers.
Yeah.
And, Tana says, well, I took the channeling course 9 years ago. And oh my gosh, Tanis, how many classes have you taught for channeling over the course of the Twillow Academy?
Quite a few.
Exactly.
Probably, I would say at least 2 a year, if not 3 a year.
Yeah.
Since. So, yeah, quite a few. But it's one of my favorites to teach because people they light up when they come out of it and they're like, oh my God, I saw this or I saw that. Yeah. So it's, I love that one. So what were some of your other favorite courses that you've taken? It doesn't have to be with me, but what were some of your other favorite courses that you've taken in the spiritual realm? When we're talking about spiritual stuff, it doesn't have to be. It could be wellness, could be, whatever. Oh, Jacqueline, we have to tell the story about the galactic yoga thing. How that... Sorry, we'll come back to that. They're joking at me about it, so...
Well, we can do that. We happen to be having our breakfast meeting at one of our favorite restaurants. And, we were talking about there are other yoga scenarios that we could have in place. And we started talking about cosmic yoga. Like, is that
Galactic
possible?
yoga. Yeah.
Is so it was, what could that look like? And doesn't she start channeling? Not just channeling. She comes into the light language. And so I'm taping her. Okay, so she begins. Now appreciate, we've got staff who are walking past us wondering, who are these women and what are they doing? And I'm sure some of them were, because you can't not want to, not be called to the sound, that vibration. Anyway, so she slid into the light language as we were talking about. So we were writing down, okay, that could be a new yoga. What an amazing theme. And so went through not just the sounds, we went through the postures, talked about how they could look and so we were sitting in a restaurant going through what galactic yoga could look like. I
The
am
mudras
so
were coming in.
Yes. Oh, yes. So it's amazing. It shows up when it needs to show up.
Yeah.
And so I'm tickled about that one. I cannot wait to see what that manual looks like.
That's that we're working on that one. That one's in the process. So.
Well, let's speak to that. So the Galactic Shaman course, it was the same thing we took, like there was the first year. And then at the end of the first year, I think like a half a dozen of us were like, so more? And then it just, boom, second year.
Yes.
So it was the same thing.
I'm extremely grateful that it happens frequently with our classes.
It does. Like the Celtic shamanic too. It was like we did the first year and we're like, so what are we doing next? Like there's more of this, right? And she's like, yeah, we could add another year, I think. Okay, we'll figure it out. I'm like, cool. Yeah, so there's more, right?
So we did that until we had like 5 years of the program. So, and that includes a year of magic. And so there's 2 years, there's Celtic Shamanic High Priestess and there's Advanced Celtic Shamanic High Priestess. Then we did a year of magic and then we did 2 years of Kabbalah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But all because we asked.
Yes, exactly. So that's why, if we know what people want, we can ask. They can ask and we can do. Right?
Even more so, they're willing to learn.
Yes.
As we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, we all learn just as much teaching as we do when we're students, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. That's those light bulb moments that you get as a teacher is like, they're beautiful. That's my favorite part. When someone finally gets it, or they're all excited about something you've just talked about, which all of these ladies have been at some point or another. So when were you most excited, Kaylee? What big nugget of information came out that you were most excited about? And like I said, it doesn't have to be with Twillow, but any of your classes that you took that really like stuck out.
So it was just like going through a list of like, okay, I took that one, took that one.
Welcome, Bora Bora. Hello.
Trying to think. I mean, I'll speak to the Galactic Shaman one because it's the most prevalent in my mind. But in the second year, we almost, I don't want to say like went on like diplomatic visits, but it was kind of that. It was journeying and being able to have my curiosity just be like, ask them any questions. And so, of course, again, me being the kitchen witch was like, so what do you guys eat? How do you eat? Do you eat as a family? Do you eat, in big long tables, or like do you eat on your own? Like, is it a vegetarian diet or, so I would say like just being able to have that exploration is always just like, it's been the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to keep coming back to that. It's like, just that encouragement to explore.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Pamela?
I'm pretty sure almost all of my courses have been with you, so it definitely would be a Tana's class. I don't know. Honestly, I think things that really like stand out as like kind of like a turning point with like going for more was probably when I took Aqua Lead a long time ago. I had just been to like enlightenment evenings, and then almost in passing, you mentioned you were teaching that on the one weekend, and I was like, really? Okay, I should go to that. Like, didn't even know what it was. I'm like, I don't care. I'm coming to that. Like, I needed to. I was like, okay, yeah,
When you
can
get
I
drawn, you
please?
get drawn to the energy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It was just kind of like, okay, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to have to do that. And then it just kind of kept going from there when there's like new things. And I'm like, okay, I want to do this too. But it was just like, you don't know what you don't know. So I'm always like so curious about like I don't know what that is. Like, I'm going to do it anyway. And I think like the Galactic Shaman program, I came to like the little evening you had where it was like explaining what it is. Cause I'm like, I don't know, like, what am I going to be doing? Like, what is this? Like, you know, like it sounds interesting. And then it was kind of, you know, explained a little bit more and like the healing side of things. It was really neat. So I was like, okay, well, I don't know these things, so let me go do that. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you. Jacqueline, what was your most exciting moment in your spiritual journey in terms of classes and stuff?
Yeah. I would, as I was thinking about it, like Kaylee, I've taken tons of classes. I will say that the NLP, the neuro-linguistic programming, allowed me to incorporate it because I was teaching about vision boards. How perfect was that connection? So I did that for, I believe it was 6 months at NLP. And I didn't think much of it until I realized what it really allowed me to see and to teach and to instruct and to guide through. And then allowing neuro-linguistic programming and yoga to come together, wholly rewire your mind to reconnect with your body. So that was shocking to me how that could all come together, just like money and yoga. How can that be? It can be.
It can. And that's that collaboration, or and
Yeah.
I guess that's part of what, Kaylee, you were talking about it with being the open and curious, and why I encourage people to do that. Because, when I do sessions on people, it's always like they come in and I'm like, I'm just going to do what I'm told. So let's just do it. And then things seem to sort of meld together in a beautiful way. And I just trust the process, and that's why I think it's so amazing that you guys have so many tools in your toolboxes, right? Because you can bring the different things into your classes that you're going to be teaching, as well as your own personal practices. And I just think that's super valuable for everybody.
And I know Brenda's not here.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear from her voice. And I think everyone who is going to be watching this yet again would love to hear more about the tapping that she's teaching. And so she's a NLP master. So while I talk, I'm just NLP practitioner. She's a master.
There's no just.
Okay, there's no just. The people we're surrounded with. Wow. Yeah. And the tapping, I did tapping more than I ever thought I did. And then there was Brenda, who takes it to another level.
I've had the opportunity to take a couple of her classes, and what I get out of them, it amazes me. I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be just yoga. Oh, yeah, it's going to be just tapping. I've done those things. No, it's a completely other amazing kettle of fish.
Well, she has so many tools in her toolbox too that she pulls together. And I know when we were talking about the classes that she wanted to offer, I'm like, well, design what you want to offer. Right. Don't just stick to one thing, right? Like if you want to bring things together, do so. So I think that's been fun for her from what I've gathered,
But also kind of like what we've been talking about, like with making these courses and having the students be part of the creation of the course.
Yeah.
Especially with Brenda, she's so open to be like, we had one class, and after that class I said, oh, I was really, really wired afterwards. She's like, okay, well, the next class, we'll maybe not do so much of this, we'll do more of this. And so being able to like shift and adapt like that,
well, and we switched the time a little bit too, right? To go a little earlier. So one of them was later, so she could teach it the way you were looking for, and then the other one we taught it so that a little bit earlier in the day.
Yeah.
So very adaptable. That's it's wonderful. Yeah.
I love when you
Well,
say adaptable, because it doesn't matter what country you're in. It doesn't matter what city or
Oh.
province or state you're in.
no.
We're all here. Yeah.
And we all have to adapt to change, right? That's the one constant is things change. So I know, so Brenda and I took our yoga teacher training through Jacqueline, and along with another couple of beautiful students too. And we did that, 2 years ago now, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. That it added so much self-confidence for me going through that. So many, there were our moments. We all took our turns having our little teary times as you clear, because you don't realize the amount of clearing and healing that happens in that kind of training. It's in depth, and yoga is not just about the postures. There's the philosophy, there's the lifestyle that you move into. Tell us a little bit more about that, Jacqueline, please.
Oh, you mean the 8 limbs of yoga?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because it's hatha yoga that at the 200-hour out at this moment, our 200-hour is based on, and that's hatha. That's the sun and moon, and it's the essence of the feminine and masculine that get to come together and play together. When we take a look at when I first began teaching yoga, people said, well, that is a religion, and I don't do that kind of thing. And I said, well, once upon a time, you may have thought it was a religion because it brought you some clarity in your life. Maybe it brought clarity in your body. Maybe you were able to discharge, let go, and release. Maybe that was your religion. What we do in class is exactly that. So we study not just the postures, like Tana said, but the spirituality. There are not just the limbs of yoga, but there is some would say it's 6,000, some would say it's 2,000 years old. It is the here and now. And if we could say it's about a 2,000 year practice, we have lots to learn. It is about the health. It is about the mindset. When we talk about the art of yoga, some would say that it is scientific in its space. As time goes on, there's more research done on what we've been doing for 2,000 years. I think we've heard that before. I have my ginger and turmeric tea. So I don't have to go to the grocery store or the drugstore to get what I need. I can make it. It's out there in my garden. That's what the 200-hour yoga certification is about. Build your garden of wellness.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And as we build that garden, building in practices, right? To build that garden.
Yeah.
So when we do that, something like doing journaling is a practice, right? Becomes a way of expression. So Pamela, maybe talk to us a little bit about journaling and what your experience is with that and how you're going to teach a little bit of that.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people, we were told over the years, many, like all of us at some point, someone said, you should journal or you should keep a diary. It'll help you. And of course, half the time you're like, okay, that's nice. But I mean,
why do I need that?
Right. It is, honestly, because sometimes when you're frustrated or you're stressed, or you're like, why do I need to be writing this down? And I get frustrated myself sometimes. And I think some people think journaling and diary is like, I have to write down exactly what I did today or what I ate and where I went. It can be, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to isolate some of the tough parts of your life and like, today was an awful day and this terrible thing happened. Like, you don't have to do that either. So I kind of approach more of journaling with using it how you need and getting stuff out. So for me, when I get super frustrated and like I have a list of things in my head, I literally just grab a piece of paper and write this all down. And seeing it visually can kind of, help even a day or two later. Like you come back to that paper and you're like, oh yeah, that bothered me. It doesn't bother me now. I wonder why I even had that issue. But you've gotten it out of your brain and you put it on paper, and it kind of takes it away. And it's almost like sometimes when you say something out loud to somebody when you're stressed and like it's this internal thing, And as soon as you explain it to someone, they look at you like you're crazy. Like, why? Like, do you hear? And you're like, oh yeah, I hear what I'm saying now. That does sound crazy. Like, that's not even a thing. It's the same thing with journaling and writing. And I think, particularly with my class, what I want to try to do is help people approach the page, not journaling in the, here's what I did today, but meeting yourself a little bit closer too. So, there'll be activities and different prompts and things that will help you to, visit with yourself and do it in a fun, creative way. There's actually going to be some accidental poetry. People aren't going to know that. But if you come to the class, you'll be writing poems that you're not even going to know. It's going to be fun. But it's just getting your creativity out and getting what's in here out here so that it makes more sense to you and you can use it better too, honestly.
Because it's about expressing it, right? And really
it
putting
is,
it
because we keep so much in, and that's just one of a really easy way of getting it out. Because I know some people paint or like they sculpt, or there's some way that they process feelings, regularly anyway, and sometimes they don't realize it, or dancing, or sometimes they do. But this is one of the easy ways to kind of just work through things and get them out in a fun way too. Well, I think it's fun, but in an easy, creative way. Yeah, without having to put any stress on it too. There's no stress on this kind of thing. Yeah, no one ever has to see it either, by the way.
That's
it's
right.
Just expressing yourself. So
you can always burn it, because that's also a way of transmuting the energy of whatever you've written. Right?
Wow. Thank you so much, Pamela. I cannot wait. I have decades of my journals, and exactly how you described it is what it does for me. So I'm so excited, and I imagine those who are going to be attending will appreciate what you're going to bring together. I cannot wait.
Awesome. And for those of you that don't want to do it in writing, we can also express through creative tasks. Okay, maybe not tasks. Creative projects, let's say. And so Kaylee's been developing the creative, I forget what we call it.
We're still workshopping the title, I think.
We still workshopping the title. But yes, it's a creative
We're basically
creative
using
series.
Tannis's idea of creativity, so being creatively courageous. I mean, get my tongue untwisted.
Courageously creative?
Yeah. So basically, if some people write, some people paint, or do other activities. So yeah, gonna be doing a year long. So it'll be once a month, over Zoom, so you can be anywhere. You don't have to be here local. We're going to be doing a bunch of different activities, so also look and see, because you might be called to one thing and not another. We're going to be doing some drawing, we're going to be doing some coloring, some painting, some actual, I guess we'll call them fiber crafts, so things like making bracelets. I'm going to walk you through how to do that. Making a no-sew pillow, so you don't have to have a sewing machine or anything crazy like that. All this stuff you're going to be able to find at your local craft or dollar store. All the materials. So yeah, I'm really excited with how it's all kind of panning out. I'm really excited for all the activities.
And you and I did a series in the spring, like that, in person,
right.
Which sort of spurned this forward too.
Yeah.
We thought, wouldn't it be nice to be able to do it online for people? So, and that was well received, and so.
Yes, exactly. Like
yes. Courageous. Yeah, that came about on Twillow Talk, actually. Mm-hmm. It was kind of one of those Freudian slip things.
Yep.
You want to tell the story? You watched the show.
I don't remember exactly 100% how it went, but it was it basically was just like you got tongue-tied, but after that, we just ran with it.
We were talking about being courageously creative. Really stepping into that sort of thing, and not worrying about what it turns out like focused on the actual process of the creation rather than the other. And sometimes that takes courage. Right. And so it came out as courageous. And so we kind of stuck. We've been using it since.
And for those of you that are, as we talked about, lifetime students, I am trying as part of the activities. So we're not going to just do the activity, that is part of it, but I'm trying to also tie in a little bit of learning along with it. So each
And some
class will be a
personal
little bit of a different
development.
topic. Yes, exactly. Personal development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure those are going to be a lot of fun. So what are you guys looking forward to for the next year?
Pamela's class?
Me too.
Perfect.
Tannis's class. Yeah.
Which one?
All of them.
Tannis, I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to our full classes.
Yes.
Looking
Meeting
very,
everybody.
very forward to it. Yeah.
So please stay tuned on the website. And I am going to shift that over now. Now that you sort of know who we are, we're going to put this up. Because then you know where to go. Supposed to know where to go. So it's twillowlifestyle.ca is where you're going to go. So that's actually on the intro and the outro, so you'll be able to see it there. But Twillow, Twillow, lifestyle, lifestyle, lifestyle. No? Yes.
That was good.
I'm like,
That was
did I
good.
spell that correctly? Yes, I did. Okay. And it's .ca. So so check out the website. We have a brand new website too, actually.
It's so pretty, guys. You gotta go check it out.
We just redid it. We just launched it. And so we're super excited about that. There's going to be so many things. Oh, thank you. So many things coming up. There we go. And we're just so excited to be bringing all of these different things to you because there's lots to come. And I think that looks like a Venus symbol.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little Venus symbol going on in your woo wonderment. So stay tuned with all of that, and I'm really looking forward to introducing you to all of the teachers as they start to come on and put their classes forward. So this is the first of many Twillow Wisdom Circles. We're going to be doing those monthly to sort of show you what's coming and to talk about stuff. So before we go, I just want to ask, because we do have a couple people watching, I just want to ask if anybody has any questions or anything. Please put them through. And, if we don't get them now, or if you're watching after, please put them in the comments and we'll get notified and we'll get back to you.
And I think a lot of us are simulcasting. So if you post it on any of our channels, whoever you're watching, we'll make sure that Tannis or the group gets those questions.
Absolutely. And if you need it answered within the next month, that's what we'll do. If you can wait a month, come back and join us on the show. Because, we'll be back here. What do we say? We're doing it the third Sunday of the month. Is that what we're doing? Third or fourth Sunday of the month?
Something like that.
Third, I think, because we're the third Sunday right now.
Fourth?
Yes. Or is it the fourth? Oh, when are we the fourth? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I know.
All right. Let me just look that up for everybody.
I'm
Subscribe and then you'll know. You'll get the notification.
Yes, that's right. Subscribe. Like and subscribe. And then you'll know. Fourth Sunday of the month.
Fourth. It is the fourth. Yeah.
So the fourth Sunday of the month at 7:30. Come back next month and see us again and see what's coming forward with the Twillow Lifestyle Academy. So final words from each of you, please. Jacqueline?
Aside from, take a long, deep breath, lift your shoulders, take them back, drop them down, extend their hands and understand, accept the love and light that is offered to you. Never say never. Namaste.
Thank you. Pamela?
Nothing as eloquent as Jacqueline, unfortunately.
Not necessary.
I was going to say, I don't have any moments, but I will say, come see me in 2 weeks, September 9th, for my little intro to writing class would be lovely. But yeah, I just enjoy, look for gratitude. That's what I tell people all the time. Look for small, tiny little moments in your days and make a note, because things are not going to be great, but things will be great. And if we see the little tiny goodness, we'll see it again the next day and the next and the next. So
We talk about seeing our glimmers. One of our friends, Gerald Stash, looks for glimmers.
And that's actually going to be one of the activities. So.
There we go. Activity coming up this year.
Mm-hmm.
Final words, Kaylee?
What we talked about today. Be courageous. Find some way in your life, along with those glimmers, to get a little bit of creativity, whether that be food or writing or painting or whatever way you see. Just look out for those.
Beautiful. And for me, lead with love and let love lead you. And we will see you next time on the Twillow Wisdom Circle or tomorrow on Twillow Talk. We'll see you soon. Take care now.